Imagine this. You step outside, and for a reason no one understands, the atmosphere around Earth disappears. Not for an hour, not for a minute, just 10 seconds. But those 10 seconds would be the most horrifying moments in human history. Today, we're diving into what would happen in those deadly, silent, world-ending 10 seconds. And the truth is far more terrifying than you think. First, the moment the atmosphere vanishes, something shocking happens instantly. The sky turns completely black. In the middle of the day, the sun becomes a small, white, unbearable dot in the darkness, because with no atmosphere, there's nothing to scatter sunlight. Shadows become razor sharp. Light becomes violent. The world looks alien, but that's not even close to the real danger. In the very first second, every exposed human on Earth begins to suffocate. Not because the lungs fail, but because the air pressure drops to zero. Your eardrums burst. Blood in your veins boils, not from heat, but because liquids expand in a vacuum. You wouldn't die instantly, but you'd have only a few seconds before unconsciousness hits. Electronics start malfunctioning. Water in lakes and oceans begins to boil at the surface. Rivers start bubbling like hot soup. Anything not held down firmly starts drifting upward, because without air pressure, gravity still works, but objects aren't pressed to the ground anymore. Dust, sand, debris. Everything begins floating like a scene from a nightmare. Then comes the ultraviolet radiation. With no atmosphere, Earth is suddenly blasted by deadly UV and cosmic rays. Skin begins to burn almost instantly. Plants start dying on the spot. The entire planet is exposed to raw space, and the sun is now the most dangerous object in the sky. Animals panic. Birds fall from the sky. Insects die instantly. The sound disappears completely because there is no air to carry it. The world becomes terrifyingly silent. Not quiet. Silent. A silence so deep it feels unnatural, like the planet itself has stopped breathing. And then comes the temperature drop. Without an atmosphere, heat on Earth begins escaping into space. The ground starts cooling rapidly. Frost forms on metal and glass. Within seconds, the planet begins to freeze from the outside in. You wouldn't feel it immediately, but the world is already dying. But then after exactly 10 seconds, the atmosphere snaps back into place. Instantly, air pressure returns. Sound comes rushing back. The sky turns blue again. Waves start moving. Winds blast through cities as the planet tries to stabilize itself. Birds scream, animals run. Humans collapse, disoriented, barely alive. The world survives, but it's not the same world anymore. Because even though the atmosphere was gone for only 10 seconds, the damage would be global. Thousands of people would lose consciousness. Millions of insects would die. Water levels would shift. Electronics would fail. Forests would burn under UV bursts. And the world would never fully recover. So what's the terrifying truth? Earth's atmosphere is the only thing standing between us and instant death. Every second of our lives. Remove it for just 10 seconds, and the planet becomes a silent, freezing, burning, airless void. A reminder that we are protected by something so thin that the universe could rip it away at any moment.